Hello everyone, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be explaining how to identify your core values, what they are, and answering the question, will it always feel good to pursue your core values? So your core value is your deepest calling in life. It is a thing that is designed to give direction to your life. It is literally the path you are meant to take in life. It is your purpose in life. And for many people, it's their passion, it's what they're passionate about. So for so many people, for various reasons that I'll explain, many people have never even acknowledged their core value in life. Many people have never even explored their true passion in life. Now, one of the first things that gets in the way of us discovering and exploring our core value is social conditioning. Now, this begins basically from the moment that we're born. So many of us have this idea in our head, this voice in our head that tells us that we cannot provide for ourselves if we pursue our passion. Now, this is one of the main things that gets in the way of people discovering or even acknowledging their core value. We've got this voice in our head that in society tells us that we cannot provide for ourselves and make a living if we pursue our passions in life, right? So because of this, because we live in a society that promotes those ideas, we've got so many people who are not in connection with their core values, their true passions, and even the people who know it, the people who know what they're passionate about, many of those people will not explore that or pursue that because they are listening to these ideas and this voice in their head that tells them they cannot make a living if they do that. Now, this is not true. This is just social conditioning because we are, especially in the school system, it is designed to keep us in very specific boxes so that we can keep things the way they are, not so we can create something new. Now, your passions may be not fitting into these boxes that school is there to design you for, to prepare you for. And so as a result, you may be thinking, I cannot make a living from these things. But this is simply not true, especially in today's society. We live in a world where you can basically make a living from anything. So if you want to discover your core value, and you want to potentially create a life that is the manifestation of that core value of your deepest passion, your deepest calling, you are going to need to become aware of this social conditioning, that voice in your head that may be telling you there's no point in pursuing that, in order to really go into this and go into yourself and really discover your core value. This voice is almost definitely going to come up for you. It's almost definitely going to tell you, don't even go there, don't even acknowledge that because there's no way you can make a living from it. So you will have to face this voice and untangle this social conditioning if you want to discover and explore your true value, your core value in life. I experienced this myself. For many years, I did not pursue things that, are a manifestation of my core value, like doing YouTube, because I also had this voice that was telling me there's no point because you can't make a living from that, right? So I had to fight this voice as well. So this is one of the biggest things we need to be aware of when we're deciding to discover our core value. So one of the first things you'll need to do when it comes to finding your core value is to allow yourself to explore things that you just naturally feel called to do, the things that you feel passionate about. Now, if you don't feel passion for anything specific, I would say that you need to just try different things. Now, many times people think that they don't feel passionate about certain things just because they're so stuck in the social conditioning. And so it actually isn't that they don't feel passion for certain things, it's just that they have completely written off those things that they have felt called to do in the past. Okay, so as I said, you need to fight this voice in your head, this social conditioning, because very often this social conditioning is woven into us so deeply from such an early age that we literally won't even consider the things that we felt passionate about. We've literally just written them off completely. So some people aren't even aware anymore of the things that they genuinely feel called to do. So you need to try to explore different things. You need to look within yourself and really ask yourself, what do I feel called to do? What brings me to life? You need to ask these questions. And this voice, this social conditioning will come up. And to be honest, awareness, just simple awareness of this social conditioning is so powerful. Before you're aware of it, you're just experiencing it and responding to it, and you're not even knowing what's happening. When you have the awareness that this voice is coming up, and it's often the thing that's preventing you from finding your core value, your passions, just that awareness is so powerful, because you will see it when it happens and you'll be able to say, I'm not going to listen to you today. You're not telling me the truth. And it isn't telling you the truth. You can make a living from your passions if you choose to commit to that. And, you have these passions for a reason, as I've mentioned before. We feel called to do the things we feel called to do for a reason. This is the map that the universe has given us. This is the map that the universe has sent us into life with. Think back to when you're a child. What do children naturally do? They just naturally explore and do the things they feel called to do. And that only stops when we move into the school system, and the school system tries to fit us into specific boxes that are designed to keep society the way it has been designed and not to create a new world. Okay? So this social conditioning is nothing but keeping us away from the natural path that we have been given to follow in life. So try and go into this process where you're kind of like a child, for just a little while, exploring the things that you truly feel called to do and feel passionate about, and try and get past that social conditioning. Because if you believe that you can't go anywhere with your passion, if you believe you can't make a living from it, your mind is going to decide there's no point, and you won't even acknowledge that you're passionate about something, okay? So if you have that voice telling you, there's no point in doing this, I can't make a living from this thing, you've got to ignore it, okay? Because whatever you feel called to do, whatever you feel passionate about, you feel that way for a reason, and it is the thing that you are meant to manifest in life, okay? Now, another thing that you can do when you've decided to find your core value in life and to follow that, is to remove the things in your life that are not in alignment with who you truly are. Now, you may not know exactly yet what your core value is, but I bet you know that there are things in your life that are not in alignment with who you truly are, and you can probably figure out that certain things in your life would not be in your life if you were following your core value and if your life was a manifestation of your core value. So I'll give you an example. Back when I decided to commit to embodying my true self and finding my core value and committing to that in life, I didn't yet know exactly what it was, but I could clearly tell that I had certain things in my life that would not be in alignment with that. For example, one of the first things I did when I made this commitment was I actually removed certain people from my life. I looked at my life, and one of the things that came up was that I have people in my life that I'm giving my time and energy to, and yet these people are not on the same page as me. I'm not connecting to them in a deep, meaningful way like I'd like to with the people in my life, and therefore it is me putting my energy in a direction I can clearly see I don't want to go. Now, this could be, it's not necessarily just people, it's everything. It could be activities that you are doing. You might be doing things regularly that you can just tell aren't in alignment with who you truly are. And guess what? If something isn't in alignment with who you truly are, it's not in alignment with your core value, because they are one and the same. Okay, so if you've got things in your life that you can clearly see are not in alignment with who you truly are, remove those things. And this will get you so much closer to your core value, because it's removing the things that aren't in alignment with you and your core value in your life, and it's making the space for only the things that are in alignment with who you truly are to come in. Another extremely important thing you'll need to do is to take imperfect action. Now, I'm not talking about making a huge commitment before you know what your core value is. That's a bad idea. Don't do anything that's going to tie you down before you have more clarity on your core value. But that does not mean you cannot be taking action. You can be taking action, and you absolutely should be. Taking imperfect actions is going to give you more clarity on who you are and what your core value is. I'll give you an example from my life. When I decided to commit to embodying my true self and finding my core value, that was when I decided to start on YouTube. Now, this was me taking imperfect action that I simply knew was going in the right direction. I didn't yet know my core value, but I did know that this action would be in the right direction because I had a very clear calling to share with people. Okay? Now, this was an imperfect action because I didn't even know how to upload a video to YouTube at that time. I had no knowledge of these things at all. I had no camera equipment. I didn't even have a microphone. I didn't have lights. If you watch my first video, I'm like a nervous robot that looks like a red tomato by the end of the video because I'm so nervous about filming. And yes, I did it anyway. And that's the point. I knew it was in the right direction, so I did it. I didn't wait to have everything that I thought I needed. I did not wait to have all the equipment. I just knew this was in the right direction, and so I took that action. Now, if you start taking imperfect actions in a direction that you think your core value may be in, even if this action that you take it doesn't lead to your exact core value, what it will do is it will give you more clarity on what you do and don't want. It will give you more clarity on what is and isn't your core value. You know, for me, starting YouTube has turned into so many other things because I've got even more clarity from taking that imperfect action. So think about some actions you can take that are in the right direction and just take them, and you will gain clarity on your core value and who you truly are. Something you'll want to look at when you're trying to discover your core value is actually your trauma. Now, I've spoken about this many times before, that our trauma and the things that we struggle with in life are usually the main thing that equips us to be helping other people. And very often, the things that we are most afraid of are the things we are actually destined to overcome and do. Let me give you an example. When I was a child, I went through some very traumatic experiences in social situations with other people, and as a result, I actually grew up being terrified of social situations, of speaking and having the attention on me. And so you can see what I mean now, because if you look at everything I'm doing today, it is all about connecting with people, talking to people, and having the attention on me in a way. Okay, so you see how the very thing I was terrified of actually ended up being the thing I needed to do. So if you want more clarity on what you're meant to be doing in life, it is a very good idea to look at the things that you struggle with, the traumas that you have, and the things that are there that you need to overcome. Because very often, when you overcome those things, it equips you to be able to teach other people. And even if you're not in the field of sharing your knowledge and teaching other people, even if you're not, very often, like I said, the things that you are most afraid of are often the things that you are meant to do and the things that bring you to life the most. So if you want more clarity, definitely take a look at your trauma and the things that you struggle with. So finding your core value simplifies your path in life because it gives your life direction. So it makes the actions that you need to take very clear and simple. Most people are very directionless in life. They have no idea what they're supposed to be doing, and the reason for that is because they do not have a connection to their core value. They are not aware or acknowledging what their core value is, and as a result, their life has no direction. They have no mission. They have no direction, so they don't know what actions to take. Since I discovered my core value, my life has been a lot more straightforward. I'm not confused anymore. I'm not unsure of what actions to take because my life now has direction. So it's very simple for me. I don't take actions and I don't do things unless they are in alignment with my core value. I will not take actions or do things unless they are going to bring me closer to making my life a manifestation of my core value. So this is why finding your core value is going to simplify your life so much, because you will then have a very clear direction to go in, and you can make the decision to not go in other directions. Now, to answer the question, will it always feel good to pursue your core value? Now, this is a really good question and one I've wanted to get into for a while. So the answer is yes and no, actually. Yes on a deeper level, no on a superficial level. So there is this thing in the spiritual community, which is it's toxic positivity. People who are telling you to never do anything that doesn't feel good. Now, this is very negative. When I say to follow your passion, to follow a deeper feeling, I am speaking of a deeper feeling. I am not talking about instant gratification. I am not talking about those superficial feelings. Now, when I decided to commit to my core value, it did not always superficially feel good. Sometimes it was incredibly hard for me to film YouTube videos because I was so nervous. And if I had listened to these people who are telling you to not do anything unless it feels good, I would have listened to those nervous feelings and I never would have filmed the YouTube videos and I never would be where I am today. So you have to do things that superficially do not feel good in order to satisfy that deeper feeling within you. Now I'm filming videos, and when I'm actually filming, I feel very good because I'm in alignment with my core value. So I'm satisfying that deeper feeling, and that's what we need to aim for. You need to aim to satisfy that deeper feeling, that deeper passion, that deeper calling, and not the superficial feelings. You will have to apply discipline. My philosophy is driven by passion, driven by a deeper feeling, and actualized through discipline and logical action. Okay? So this means that you will have to do things that superficially do not feel good. You will have to get up probably early in the morning and you will have to discipline yourself and do things that superficially may not feel good if you want to make your life a manifestation of that deeper feeling, of that core value. And if you do that, if you actualize yourself through discipline and logic, it will lead to happiness. Discipline leads to happiness. Satisfying your superficial feelings, instant gratification, achieves nothing. It achieves temporary satisfaction in the moment, but then in the long run you achieve absolutely nothing. You do not become in alignment with your core value. You do not create a life that is a reflection, a manifestation of your core value, your deeper passion, if you are satisfying those superficial feelings. So you will have to do things that superficially do not feel good, but it will make you feel good on a deeper level because you will be achieving the things you want to achieve in life. So no one can tell you what your core value is, but the good news is that deep down you do already know it. You were born with a map for this life, a unique map designed specifically for you. So you do have those answers within you. So if you follow the steps in this video, it will give you the best chances of connecting to your core value, to your deepest passion, your deepest calling that is within you. And then if you actualize yourself through discipline and logical action driven by passion, you will absolutely be able to manifest a life that is the reflection and manifestation of that core value. So I really, really hope this video has helped you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.